Yo, I just took a dab. I'm pretty high. Let's talk PPFD with Scotty Real. It's Grambo Grows.
We're dropping knowledge on Grambo Grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. Grambo Grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step. You can rock out the negativity. Cannabis vibes up in here. Grambo Grows, I'm something in. Grow, vibe, bring your life.
Hells yes. Guys, what's up? Welcome to the Late Night Smoke. I'm here in Studio A. What up? I'm not in the little cramped little Studio B over there, so I'm actually hanging out in my main studio. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is a big one. We're back. I missed last week. Some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know. I went out to San Francisco / Oakland, California to go hang out with JR Token and Soup the Gardener and Q Grows to represent Cannabis and Tiki Madman out at the Emerald Cup out in Oakland. It was pretty sick, I gotta say. So that brings me to my first question in chat. What are you guys smoking? I see you guys. What up, Adam, Thomas, Sicko? We're gonna be talking about Sicko, Haldor, Musty, Cannabis Vibe. What up, buddy? Jay Morris, Jay Crush. We got all the J's up in here. Banjo, Grandpa, everyone's up in the house. Thomas, thank you. I always appreciate you guys. Before we get started, I just have to shout out all the GRAMBOlogue members. Thank you guys so much. Fontucky, California. I'll never be able to say that right. L420 BGC, Perry Gerhardt, Chunky Nugs, Mark Jr., Alabama Man, Bare Metal, Witches of Coos, Jill Sorbello, Crazy Days, Weeds Conson, Cortez the Conqueror, my man out there with the plan in Chi-Town, and Banjo 420, Scott K, and Jimmy Anderson. You rejoined, Jimmy. You're my first rejoin. That means a lot to me, guys. This podcast is not sponsored, or this stream is not sponsored by anybody. So if you guys want more Grambo Grows, hit that. What do I always say? Sharing is caring. The most important thing you can do for cannabis creators is sharing. So if you've already smoked that like button, then roll this video up, pass it to a friend. You know what we always say here. So yeah, what are you guys smoking on out there? Because this is what I'm smoking on. I brought back some of the best hash I've gotten. You know, I smoke a lot of good hash. This is some rosin I got out in Cali. Of course, it's not going to focus there, but it's the Heritage Hash Company. Heritage Hash Company. JR Token and I interviewed him. I did some camera work out there in the Emerald Cup, and yeah, it was pretty sick. So I got this. We interviewed the guy, and he was so freaking cool that I wanted to get some. They had some aged temple balls there. This not old school pressed, just bald hash. I was like, oh man, I want some of that. He's like, oh, we sold out of it. Like, oh, bum, bum, ba-dum. And so I was bummed out. And then he's like, oh, but I got a display that's like been out for like 2 minutes. I'll just give it to you. He just gives me this awesome temple ball. And so then, of course, I've been trained, good by good men. You got to take care of people. So I bought this gram of, you can see I've been loving it. It's almost gone. All you California people, it's interesting seeing the different. I think California has a better. Oh, and there's the strain name right there. I didn't even notice. Maybe we'll see. Garlic of Oz. I gotta say, Heritage Hash Company, mwah, you guys are killing it. This is some of the finest ganja I have smoked in a long time. So freaking good. I've had a very stony weekend. I am almost out of Jug Dealer Gabe. He had that Gary Payton that I've been smoking him. You see how that live resin, all those terps? Look how terpy Gabe's weed is. I just stirred it like an hour ago, man. It's already separating. It's hilarious. So yeah, Emerald Cup was badass. It was pretty cool. It was one of the first non-DGC sort of events that I had been able to attend, and yeah, flew in, hung out, and it was pretty cool, man. My reporter was like, "How was the show?" I'd say that my take away from that show was prohibition's falling down, man. I have a here, I'll go over here and I'll show you guys a picture that I feel sums up the whole vibe over there. It was very, very chill. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just, smoking this big old huge joint that JR Token rolled up. And who rolls up but the 50. 50 rolls up and he's just like, "How you guys doing?" Like, "Oh, we're doing really good, man." And he's like, "Cool. It just seems like you guys are having fun." And so they're I was like, "Hey, man, of course." And so we talked for like a little bit, and I was like, "Dude, like, as stoners and like, people in the weed, but we hated cops. A lot of us still hate cops." And it was surreal to like, just totally break bread. And how good looking is this cop? Get out of here. That's what California cops look like. Get out of here. What is this? Hawaii 50? It's ridiculous. And so yeah, I'm sitting there smoking that joint. He freaking was so freaking cool. So I took a picture with him. And yeah, it was pretty sick. While I have this open, I gotta share shout out to my guy Sicko Grows. Here's Sicko Grows. He's out here in chat right now. He is a awesome, awesome barber. So if you guys are in the Colorado world, check him out. Just look at this difference here. Here's me on the right, with my BS, I'm just doing it all myself. It's all every which way. Look at the difference. What a professional barber does, man. I went from just like I went from looking hot to looking gorgeous. He's got me looking gorgeous, if I don't say so myself. So it's been a ridiculously good week. Everything's been going great. I met a girl. Not too bad. We're going away together this weekend. It's gonna be freaking pretty awesome. So if you guys know, I've been following my journey. I broke up with all of my hoes and girls and everything, and I was just focusing on me. I started doing jujitsu. I started working out again. It's feeling good. I've been trying to eat a little bit better. Been trying to. I'm down like 15 pounds. If you guys remember, I lost 30 pounds last year. Gained it all back. Took that back off. I got half of it back off, and I'm way stronger. I'm up to 2 and 3 chin ups, and for a big boy like me, 3 chin ups, that's a big deal. And so here, let me message just in case. Of course, I am Scotty's producer. Let's see, and the browser has blocked your mic and camera. So apparently, Scott's having trouble. But yeah, we'll get him in. I think he has to refresh like the browser, and then it asks you for access. This is one of those things that's he's trying to get in on his mobile setup, and that's the one thing. Jimmy, will I be? I mean, sure, I would be down. Why not? Where do you live? Are you getting married? Are these things? All right, I'm just gonna tell him, just pop in on your phone. So, yeah, you know how we do it on the late night smoke. It's super, super chill. Yeah, thank you, Fontucky. It's crazy how much like, I was just a popper. And I wouldn't have thought that it was gonna make of it just making like having the lines. It's like it's like a race car, it's like this line that starts here, continues through and up, and then tapers out. Well, congratulations, Minnesota. Yeah, it's near the Twin Cities. I'll come out. Seriously, I'll come to your wedding. I don't know if I can be your best man. You should probably have your friends and family do that. But I definitely I would come. Fuck yeah, Jimmy. This is the thing. people always like JR. Like I told him I was coming to the Emerald Cup. He had his surgery not too long ago, and I was like, dude, I'll come help you. And everyone offers to help everybody, but no one actually shows up after a 3-hour flight and shows up. And that was so cool. Shout out to Q Grows, shout out to Cannabis. That was cool, man. We stayed in a little place called Alameda. It's an island in the bay in between San Francisco and Oakland. And man, Oakland's it's a really shitty town. I was kind of amazed at like, holy crap, the legends are true. It's a kind of a cesspool out there, but it was so cool to see. I'm so happy to be back in Denver. Yeah, JR's recovery has been great. We walked 3 miles over the course of like the event, and then we went to In-N-Out Burger, and he walked there with us as well. So he was feeling good, he's looking good. It's pretty freaking awesome. So we're gonna wait for Scotty to get in here. One of the things that Scott has been really diving into, and we got to talk with Bruce Bugby. Me and Scott sat down with Bruce Bugby here like a week or so ago, and so keep your eyes peeled. We're all going to LA. One of the reasons Scott's coming on to talk about is we're gonna be having an LA DGC meetup September 7th or 8th. I will figure that out, but it's a Saturday, I believe, and we're the whole crew. The whole crew is going to, we're meeting the dude in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, and we are all going. It's going to be sick. And so we're going to talk about that. But one of the things that we, after talking with Shane from Migro, then we talked with Bruce Bugby, PPFD, right? We say these words. How many in chat actually knows what PPFD stands for? I did not. I gotta say, I've been talking about PPFD. Oh, the sun is 2000 PPFD, and your canopy at height of flower production, you really want to get that 1000 PPFD. What's PPFD stand for? This was something after talking with Bruce Bugby, I realized like, oh, I don't understand jack all, do I? So photosynthetic photon flux density. Look at which is a coos. I hope you didn't Google it. I hope you're just smart like that. Yeah, shout out to you, which is a coos. It's fairly complicated. And so I always like to like Scotland. One of my quotes on this, Nate, you got it. Photon flux something. It's in cannabis growing, you go from stoner to quantum mechanics in like 4 moves. It's like, oh, well, the roots uptake ions. Okay, well, what's that mean? Well, the ions are free. Okay, what's that mean? Well, particles are, okay, what's that mean? Matter is energy condensed. Like, all right, what the hell? Hey, look at sicko there. And use realdgc.com. If the apps give you trouble, it can be a pain in the butt. So yeah, definitely check out the website if the app is giving you trouble. PPFD, man. This is one of the, it's also, we are exiting out of the age of bro science, and we are entering into the age of just science. And it is fairly complicated to parse out all the stuff that's going on right now. So Scott's been obsessed with DLI and PPFD in the last little bit. And so we talked with Bruce Bugby about it. And one of the things that really was interesting, Scott had been having problems when he's cranking up his we are allowed to talk PPFD here. We've been doing it a lot on dudes catching up too. Hey, speaking of which, let's see here. I think yeah, you guys all it's complicated figuring all this stuff. You guys want to see? Oh, get out of here, Vibe. You're back. Thank you, Cannabis Vibe. For all you guys that don't know, Cannabis Vibe wrote the theme song for Grambo Grows and the Jug Dealers guys. So shout out to him. He's getting around. I think he's doing some other. I put him in contact with Dude's brother. I don't know. Maybe he's out there in Canada or Florida. Where's Dude's brother live, Scott? I don't know. So thank you, Cannabis Vibe. But with no more bullshit, Scotty figured out his mobile rig. What up, brother?
Yes. No, I didn't. I'm just on my phone. I need my producer, man. Where's my producer?
I know, dude. That's the literally when things go wrong, I just feel this is like right now what you and I are doing is what me and Brett do every week. He's like, Grambo, why's this thing? And I go, I'm lost. I don't know what to do.
Who's this Brett character, man?
So we're talking
Brett or
about,
Brent?
I'm pretty sure it's Brent.
Inside joke.
Inside joke. There. Yeah, just telling the guys we're having a
Hey.
meetup, eh, Scotty?
Is there only guys allowed? Is that what's going on here, man? There's only guys?
No, it's the real guys, man.
It's PC Scott here, man. It's PC Scott. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm looking. I can actually see myself in this shirt, and I might be over mushrooms, man. Might be over. Dude, man, I went to the Tour de Fat this weekend, and I would just be talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden they would just go, and then they'd be laying on the ground laughing, and nobody, I was trying to talk to people, and they were just like, I mean, everybody's so whacked out on shrooms, man.
That's so hilarious. Yeah,
Well, that's all right.
Mushrooms are the new kind, bud.
Well, people can handle their shit on kind bud, man. People can't seem to handle their shit on shrooms, man. I'm gonna throw up the chat here so people can yell at me.
And while you're throwing up the chat, I need to have to address an issue.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Grambo. I'm trying my best to be.
This is not me. Just so everyone knows, stop sending me this. I go to the Emerald Cup, Scott, and we showed this on the show one time. This man.
Well, I didn't remember it. I seem to have blocked it out. Man.
There was 10,000 of these things everywhere at the Emerald Cup.
Wow.
Everywhere you went was these magazines, and then everyone that walked by our fucking booth would go.
Was like, hey, it's the guy from the magazine. That sucks, man. That's a bad thing to be, man. It's not cool.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but
everybody was there's better things.
Like, it's not me. Stop it.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Your reality is weird, Grambo.
Scott, I gotta say, my reality is getting weirder by the week, and I have you to thank for it. And I can't. Jiu-jitsu. I got compliments from my instructor in jiu-jitsu this week. He said he'd never seen a white belt holding the hooks as well as I did, and I was like honored. I was like, I got a compliment at jiu-jitsu. How about that?
Dude, that's awesome, man. It's going to be good for you.
Belt, Scott, from a brown belt.
Yeah. That's good. I like to see. Man, I read a story recently about cannabis being associated with weight loss, and you always think about cannabis being associated with the munchies and weight gain. And it was, I start thinking about it, and man, for me, I get high, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll take a walk, or I'll go on a mountain bike ride, or I'll get out of the house, or do something, you know. I guess it depends how much sativa, man. But it just makes me a little too bored from sitting around the house.
Yeah, I've told you the story how I'll take so much edible every night. I have a 25-pound weighted vest that I wear out, and I do a 5-mile walk every single night. So like when we end this stream, I'm going to head out for my 5-mile walk, and I take so much edibles. I get lost. I'm in my own neighborhood, and I get lost, but I have so much fun. It's such a blast.
I have the worst sense of direction, man. I walked to my car and then walked around the block, and then walk to my car again around the block. And at the end of it, I go, shit, where did I park again, man? All 4 of the corners. All 4. Thank God, man. Thank God. It'll tell you where it's at. I need that. All right.
So yeah, let me find the thing. But one of the things that we definitely want to
find the thing,
or at least mention, was that Dude Grows, we're all getting together. It's a kind of a big deal. Huh?
It's a huge deal. Hang on, let me get set up. I'm going to. We're not showing weed, Grambo? Are we showing weed?
do your thing. You know how we do it.
It's the new bucket, man. It's the new bucket,
Ooh,
you know?
that looks fresh.
You know what? I got more freshies because this just came out of the drying, whatever it is, drying tent. Sorry, words of my friend. And man, it takes what, 2 weeks to come out of the drying tent? I'm sorry, yeah, a couple weeks to dry. Anyway, by the time this is out, I got new stuff ready to trim, man. And new stuff looks dank, man. You should come hang out with me and trim.
Maestro had a little joke for you. Scott uses GPS in his own house.
Well, it's true, man. That part's true. Okay. It's good stuff, man.
And Cat put this little promo together. So Santa Monica, West Hollywood, West Ho.
Isn't that? Hey, let's relax. Isn't that where Jack Tripper used to live, man? Santa Monica. See, you're the cable guy, man, but you don't know about Three's Company. That's before your time, right?
I know about Three's Company, but I would not have known that. I knew Jack was his name, but it
was in Santa Monica, man. This first gay guy I ever knew.
Guitar, and I was gonna play Santa Monica for you. Gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang.
Man, I'm looking for
living in my burr.
I don't know about that, Grambo. You are a musician, aren't you?
Yeah.
You still play it all?
A lot, actually. I got my guitars sitting over here. They're gonna get fixed.
Do you?
The thing I'm the best at is ironically music. People think of me a comedian, a producer, a good-looking man with a beard.
All right, let me ask you a question. Strain dependent, yes or no, man?
Strain dependent?
Meaning that, you know, do you have some weed that helps you create, or some weed where you're just like, I just want to hang out and practice today. I'm going to get my practice in, or I don't know.
I'm
not a musician.
Weed affects so just down the thing. I thought people were like kind of lying. Well, it makes you feel like this, makes you feel like that, until like 8 or 9 years ago, I got some pressed hash. I call it the paranoia hash. Every time we'd smoke it, I just be like, dude, I know the cops aren't outside, but the fucking cops are outside. You know?
Yeah, like, it's usually helicopters or they're listening.
I've been smoking. It makes me really happy. That's weird. Why am I happy? I always go, why am I happy? Oh, it's the Gary.
So I shouldn't curse at all. I feel different because I'm on your show and it's at night. And I don't know. It's kind of chilling, man. I actually wanted to do it. Yeah, man. Yeah, all right. I tell you, man, I'll give you a little fall prohibition report. We have this thing called Tour de Fat. I tried to get your ass up here, but
my kid was
she would have loved it, man. You know what? This could be what beer, used to be. I don't know. They did a nice public image remake on beer, right? They started spending a whole bunch of money on marketing and whatnot and public relations. So we have New Belgium, the microbrews. We're all about the community, right? New Belgium is from our
fire and
yeah. So they have this New West Fest. They put on a concert, and then they have the Tour de Fat, which is actually, I might be mixing those two up, but Tour de Fat, like a big bicycle parade. Everybody gets weird, completely awesome. And so I went to a party yesterday and brought a bunch of joints. And I was kind of on like this little downtown lot that wasn't that big, and everybody's on the front yard. And I asked my buddy, who was the guy that was laughing on shrooms about 10 minutes later, but I asked him if I could smoke, and he was like, hell yeah. And nobody really frowned upon it. And there was neighbors on both sides, and it was just as cool as like a 12 beer funnel would be. You know what I mean?
This all looks very Fort Collins deaky, man.
It's pretty Fort Collins, right? All right, I'm going to tell you something that was completely amazing. And so I was at this person's house, and then his party stopped, and then they go, come on, we're going to another party down the street. I go to this house. It is, I would say, $1 million house, but it had $1 million worth of stuff inside the house. It was the most fanciest house I'd ever seen. And they had an open party for people at New Westfest, or I'm sorry, Tour de Fat. And like they opened it, they didn't have the whole house open, but you could use their bathroom if you needed to, where there was like rare African art on the walls and stuff. I mean, but yeah, how awesome that America still works, you know, or it still works in Fort Collins, man, where you can have a party and have a big parade with wackos down the street and let them use your bathroom and they don't steal your African art, man. It's pretty cool. You know?
This is a fact, man. I remember Kenny. We were hanging out with nice guy Kenny. We were grilling out at your place, and we were.
Hey, can I do a dab while you talk? Can I do a dab, man?
Yeah.
All right, talk. Tell me, man. I'm listening. I promise.
Of course.
Oh, actually, I'm still on mic. This is great. I can smoke as much as I want.
Beautiful. We can see your. Are you wearing suspenders? What do you got there?
Yeah. I always wear suspenders when I'm not on camera, but. Dude, come on, let's show the privilege.
Hey, shout out to Kyle out there at Topicals.
Kyle, man, I'm the one-eyed cat. Tops, man. Tops hooked me up. Look at, dude, this is kind of pathetic, isn't it?
No,
when you get an ounce of dabs and it slowly, what is there? There's 12 and then there's 3. There's 5 theoretically. All right.
Well,
what is our reorder? Sorry. What is our reorder point with these, by the way? 7? Once we're down to 7,
I think we can arrange that. Yeah. One of the weird ironies is that Kyle that makes Tropicana is my oldest friend in Colorado. For you guys that remember John Doe Radio with Tim Martin. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dude used to watch that, man.
Yeah. So, I hooked up with Tim. Was my first ever cannabis media gig right when I got in Colorado. He picked me up, so shout out to him. And I met all the Incredibles guys, Incredibles Edibles, and
those were good ones.
When they expanded their concentrate brand of Incredibles, they brought on Kyle and Telly. And so I hung out with Adam Dunn not too long ago and hung out with Telly, and yeah, those guys are awesome. So cool to see people that you meet out in the world. Like me and Kyle were just 2 dudes working. I had a job. I was working at a dispensary. He's working at Incredibles. And now Scotty Reel's got his box. I'm going to eat your box, Kyle.
Wow. You hooked up with him first. Before I got his box, you said you hooked up.
You know, I'm a liberal man. So I gotta shout out to like the weird coincidences of Scott. Scott always like calls things. He'll always be like Grambo, and then he says
too much.
I'm like you know, like the story of like how he found High C, how I ended up at the bakery, the way all of this stuff. The bakery is like a spot of like a nexus of coincidence.
Hey, you know, chat, man, does anybody pay attention to that, or does that ever happen to anybody? I'm kind of weirded out by it lately. But yeah, a lot of odd coincidences happen to me, and then I'm like, boy, that was odd. And yeah, and then it's been happening so much, it's starting to make me feel weird. I was writing a show, man. I don't know. I guess whatever. I said I wasn't gonna use any show material, but I will. It was this meme. It wasn't a meme. I guess it was, but it was a quote, and it was a Tesla quote. He was like, if you really want to understand the universe, start thinking in terms of waves and vibration, or frequencies and vibrations. I was like, man, that's kind of, if you told me that, you know, you get bad vibes from people. No, everybody gets bad vibes from people every now and again. Sometimes you don't even understand why, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's as a man of science, right? You follow all this stuff, and then you go through your life and stuff happens, and you go, well, like if I don't acknowledge the weirdness, I'm kind of not doing the scientific method. You know? Yeah,
I'm not like Brewmeister Smith, man. You know what I mean? He didn't believe. Who's Brewmeister Smith, man? Come on, Mr. Radio. I mean, Mr. You don't even know Strange Brew. Oh, it's a good one, man. When the surreal happened there, and he just goes, well, there was no scientific explanation, so it did not happen. Telling you, man. You can learn a lot from Brewmeister Smith, man.
We have so many of those, and right up to like Scott was like right before the cup. I was like, I'd sworn off all the hoes I was dealing with. I was like, I'm on the straight and narrow. I'm focusing on myself. You remember, I was had girl to girl, and it was like a thing, and I was like, no more. And then I've been having just like no one lives up to my standards. I've just been feeling like blah. And then Scott was like, well, Guru met his lady friend at the cup. Grandma, you're probably going to meet a girl at the cup. And I did. It was so.
Yeah, but that's the only time that you've been around girls for the last like 18 months. So, I mean, that's a little unfair, no?
I've been in solitary.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding,
it's
man.
So cool. So meeting a weed grower chick. She's coming in this weekend, and we're going up to the mountains together. Very excited, Scott. Life is good, man. It's all
life is good, man. Yeah, it sure is. Good, Grambo. I am really happy that you're crushing it, man. I don't know what are we supposed to be doing here, sir? I feel like I'm on a phone call with you, actually. I will say, man, Grambo came in and he's a cool dude, man. He very quickly became my friend. We actually hang out till 9 or 10 o'clock after sometimes, man.
Yeah, we went. I was gonna say we went boating, but I went boating. And
as long as we're laughing. Come on, that's a funny story. Me and Grambo my wife's like, come on, we're going to take the boat out. And I'm like, Grambo, all right, we're going to do this. I'm going to get it off I'll back the trailer up and you'll get on the boat and do your thing. And I'm like, I haven't started the boat in 2 years. Pretty sure, maybe 60% sure it'll start. And Grambo goes, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing here, man. And so we gave it a whirl. Right? It mostly worked out. You did?
Grew up on boats, and so like
so you were just playing dumb?
Well, the weather doesn't change like it does, so we're all getting on the boat, and Scott knows how the mountains work, and I'm looking out and I'm going, it's gonna be fine. Well, Scott's like, I'm not going out there. It's going to pour on you guys. Ice cold.
Oh my God.
Rain. Mountain rain is ice cold.
Hey.
Just so you know, in case you want to guess how I know what the temperature of mountain rain is.
Grambo, that really was a lesson in human peer pressure, okay? Because Grambo didn't know most of the people on that boat, and I did, so I didn't give a shit. And we got on that thing. I looked at the sky. It was lighting up with lightning, and I go, hey, I'm not going, all right? You guys can do what you want, free country. I'm not going, man.
And I'm sitting there going, God, it's like 90 degrees out. What's a little rain?
Well, hey, what's a little rain?
Me and all the guys we're out there with and the girls, we're near hypothermia. It's
ridiculous. Hey, I'm going to laugh and take another dab. Tell me about you freezing to death again. It was pretty...
Oh man! So
just kidding.
No regrets, because it literally was one of those things that, like I said, I really did. I grew up in Iowa, and everyone knows Minnesota as the land of 10,000 lakes. Well, I was just south of that, so we have a whole bunch of lakes. So I grew up on Sayreville, Lake Grafton, in Iowa, and so my stepdad had a houseboat. We'd go out every single weekend of my childhood, and I hated it. It's taking me away from my friends. It's taking me away from my Nintendo. And then I look back and I go, dude, I had the best life ever. What does this remind you of, Scott? I had the best life ever and was miserable. Who's that remind you of now? I have the best
most
life.
People.
Literally, I've been on a mission. Scott's been guiding me, working with me. Like on Mondays, sometimes I got to dip out to do my little meetings and everything, so I can get my mind right. You and Heisty have really helped me, more so than even business and like all the content stuff we've done, really mentally. Even you would have to acknowledge, like, I have grown up a lot in the last 2 years since knowing you guys.
Hell yeah, you have, man. Hell yeah. I agree 100%. With Nate C that says recharge is the best thing since him. No, I'm just kidding. I want to see if I could turn that into a recharge commercial, Grambo. I did, right? I'm busting your balls.
What is I've never noticed, like, your picture is like, that's that man, the famous meme guy where it's like a big hardy man wearing like I don't know.
I don't know what picture, sir. I don't know what picture. Oh man, you know what? I have several businesses, man. I got one in Costa Rica. I have one in
That's
like a band.
Surfside Costa.
But bamboo nursery. I'm not flexing, and what I'm saying is, and then there's real growers, and I think there's one more, but I forget. And they all employ people, man. I don't do a whole bunch to any of them. Oh, I said real growers, right? I don't know. Anyway, man, there's people that run them and trusted people. They've been doing it for years. They run it like it's their companies, and there's profit sharing to where when the company succeeds, they succeed, man. And it's so much fun when I see people that work for me for 10 or 12 years buy their first house or their first new car or new truck. As a matter of fact, Grambo's in the market. Hey, come on. What kind of car should Grambo get? I say a WRX, man.
Yeah.
I think
in the comments if you're watching
all-wheel drive.
I'm trying to become the #1 player in Denver.
No, no, you don't want to attract that kind of stuff. All right, man. I was just hanging out with my buddy's a real estate guy. He rents out properties, and he was kind of telling me how, you dress up the property and where you get them because you want to attract a certain type of people. Sometimes it's working class folks. Sometimes
Have you seen me recently, Scott? I mean, come on.
Could you imagine that? In a WRX pearl white with paddle shifters, man, like the light blue leather interior. Yeah, we'll give you a sneak peek, Grambo.
Yes, I took for Sicko Grows. He was like, "Hey, man, can I get a shot? So like a before and after of your beard." And I took that picture, and I was like, "I look good."
Grambo, you do look good, man. All right.
Look at that, man.
Hang on, I'm letting the dogs in. It's raining. I like this nice loose format, sir.
Oh yeah. This is the whole reason I started. I was so lonely on Sundays. So there's a different school. My kid started new school. Like she's a proper kindergarten and going to school now.
And it's so Sunday at 9 p.m.
Home on Sunday night, opposed to school Monday morning. So I actually don't have my daughter today, which is why I'm here in the lovely Studio A with the lights. Look, the lights flicker. They twinkle. They twinkle. They twinkling.
Twinkle, twinkle. It's time, bro. It's time to get the confusing weed out. Hey, Chad. I'm sure.
Giga Chad Grambo. Scott, I don't know if you know the Giga Chad meme, but I've been working out. I'm strong as hell. I'm doing jujitsu, getting my beard done, flying in girls and taking them to fancy resorts.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty, Grambo. Don't make me have an intervention with you, all right?
Hold on. I got to flex on camera.
It happens every now and again. It happens,
No, I'm very good. And that's a big shout. Everyone. Oh, we got the.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby's in the house, man.
You're the one hitting the gong today.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby's killing, man. He's all right. He's pretty fly. He's all right. He's a good dog. All right.
Did you get him used? You get him brand new? Is that a used dog?
Like 8-10 weeks old, man. Almost new. Second owner. Yes.
Drinking milk. I don't know what that means. Into it, Maestro.
Oh, Maestro. Wow. Yeah. No, drinking milk, man. You get big and strong from drinking milk.
I drink a cholesterol on it protein shake every single night. It's my dessert every night. Big fat on it and dark chocolate.
Dude, take your health seriously, man.
He's what is Ricky again?
He's a Frenchie. He's a fluffy Frenchie. French bulldog. Yes.
Oh my God. Grand Brute. That it worked in my head when I read it. When you say it out loud, it doesn't quite work good. And
yeah. Anybody getting you a car yet, man?
No. But
you getting a new car yet?
No, you're supposed to be helping with. I can't drive a man. Scott found me the perfect car, and I was like, dude, when I get back from California, I'm buying it. And then I get back, and it's a manual, and I don't know how to drive a manual. Well, I can tell
Let's
from here whose rosin that is. That's Jay.
let's talk about this shit right here. Oh
This
man,
shit right here.
that's what I tried to do, man. I tried to be all cool.
Did
Dude, that
you
is
see in the
next
chat,
level.
who remembers this shit right here? Who goes back?
What was that? I can barely remember it.
I think that was King Marijuana. It was for you guys that don't remember. For you guys that have discovered the Dude Grow Show in the last year,
You owe me a hit.
you would not believe how different the show used to be. These guys,
Dude, come
they
on.
would just play music. They would just play songs for 5 minutes and just leave. It was hilarious.
I'm trying to smoke here, Grambo.
Yeah. I'm not smoking weed, motherfucking marijuana. If you guys want to check out those songs, go check out Jay Maestro. Right here, you can click on his name and you can find him. The Jay Maestro YouTube channel has all the Scotty Real parodies, and Scott's a good lyricist. Shout out to you. You're really talented at writing lyrics.
I've been telling you that for so. No, I'm just kidding. That's really nice of you to say. And if I can say something, because I'm gonna anyway, man, I like writing. I was just writing. I have an excuse to come home early from hanging out with a bunch of folks, so I can hang out on my back patio and write the shows that we're gonna do this week's shows. And man, I'll take the whole format that we have and I'll craft it and I'll put things up here and that's more of a Saturday, and it's kind of the same muscle as making a lyric or a poem, right?
Yeah, no, all of us in the bakery find ourselves, even though I'm dyslexic, I have a thing I want to send to High C. I wrote it before AI, so it's proof that I wrote it. And I was reading some back on my old things I had wrote, and I was like, I love writing. So we all have the same skills, but different skills. It's a pretty unique little team over there.
It really is. And when the partnership that most people get into is like a relationship, and it is, if I give my kid advice or anybody advice, is don't find somebody exactly like you. Find somebody with a little bit, whether you partner with somebody. Me and the dude, I don't know if you noticed, we're pretty different, man. We're pretty different. But the things that he's really into, I couldn't care less about, man. And the things that I'm into, you've seen it when I say DPD, right? You know what I mean? If I'm into light theory or something weird like that.
Over on biking and stuff, though. Just a little bit.
Hey, Grambo, I have content, and I'll never be able to get this out on the Dude Grows because it's way too swirly. But ready?
Okay. Yes.
All right. This is Grow. Y'all ready? Here's some Grow.
Yeah.
Tell me, chat. Okay. So I'm trying to learn about DLI. Okay. And the DLI is how much light the maximum amount of plant light that the plant can use in a day. And the idea is if you get that close to the maximum, you're maximizing photosynthesis, right?
Yes.
So when you go from 18 hours of light to 12 hours of light, you're reducing your light by 1/3, right?
Yes.
So how much would you have to dial your lights up to get the same DLI? Like percentage wise.
I was Googling, so I couldn't.
No, shut up, man. You're dialing down by 1/3. You would think you have to dial them up, turn them up by 1/3, right?
Potentially 33%.
Yes. I went from 18 hours a day to 12 hours a day. How much less is that? It's 33% less time, man. So Wouldn't you think, well, I better just dial my lights up 33% more, 1/3 more to make up for it?
See, that's the thing about percentages that's weird, depending on which direction you go. Me and a friend got in an argument over splitting money. And I found this principle of direction to start over. And I was I was $10. And he goes, I'm using 40 because there's 50, 50. I was like, you take 60, I'll take 40. That's only $10 less. You were going to have 50.
You're messing up my DLI, man. All right. Hang on. Ready? You want to know what the answer is? How much you have to turn your lights up?
42.
50%. 50%. Do
And
it
that makes
backwards, man.
you
Do it backwards.
change
You have
ratio
12.
dose.
Well, you have 12 hours of light. Say that you have 12 hours of light for flowering, and then you want to get the same amount at 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to turn it at 18, right? 6, 12, 18. Don't ask me, man. When you do the math,
No,
it's
you're on
50%, man.
because
Yes,
so if you go
because
from
it's
18 to
12,
12,
18 is 50% more than, yeah.
actually 50% of the remaining volume.
Isn't that crazy, man? And no, it's not that it's crazy, but I saw this book and it was from the 40s and it's like Statistics Lie. That was the name of it. It's like
Yes.
a number.
Yes.
Oh no, it was called Lying with Statistics. It was like an instructional book.
Me and my best friend, Garen Drost from
Right.
Iowa, we started the band together. He and I were both like professional poker players. We're both brainiac math guys. And we got in the biggest argument over splitting money. And we discovered this because he was looking at
But do a dab,
from
you talk.
the disparity of the 18 to 12. He's like, it's a 33%. And I was like, you're not calculating from the amounts left. It's 50% of the remaining amount.
Really?
And
that's
so
cool as hell, man.
We're 17 and we're going at it, and we eventually discovered, we found it, and we went, oh, so if you take statistics backwards, they're different. Like it's like two divided by 3 versus, I'm losing the thread because I'm high. But
this is gonna change my whole bloom cycle, man. You don't even understand. I don't know why I'm talking into the mic, man.
I did a shout to a chat and I asked them, I was like, hey, we're going to talk PPFD. Who actually knows what PPFD stands for out there? Because until we talked to Bruce Rugby, I did not. And when I found out that it was
photosynthetic photon flux disorder. And there's a medicine for it, dude. You can get, Pfizer has a medicine for it, man.
You got the disorder.
It doesn't matter, man. Dude, I tell you what, that's what I really try to do on my Scotty Real 420 channel, or in general, man, is make things simple, not complicated. Take the fucking ego out of it, man. You know what I mean?
420 channel, but if you're watching this, YouTube is definitely already serving. This channel's crushing.
But seriously, I listened to this book. Somebody recommended this book. It was that Bridget Fetisi girl. They were on Joe Rogan. They recommended this book, and I was like, all right, these people seem cool. I'll get this book. It was the most inflated, just puffy with big words, and I was like, dude, just try to help me understand what you're talking about. I don't need to know how smart you are. And yeah, man, so that's what I'm trying to do, is make it easy. This shit ain't that complicated, man. Once you understand, if something's complicated, most of the time you don't understand it enough.
One of the things I'm sure he stole it from somewhere, but Jaron will always quote, he says, the height of sophistication is simplification.
That's cool as shit. Hey, just shut up, comedian. Hang on a second. I am confused. We can talk about this now, too. So when is it okay to steal material? Like, he took that material and then repurposed it and brought it to his audience, man. I know there's all this weird secret code about
if he went to a make your own philosophy night and went up and said that, he'd get beat up.
But is it okay? Like, I'll take Simpsons references all the time, man, you know?
Well,
is that okay? Or do I have to say, I'm sorry, I got that from the Simpsons, man. Excuse me.
If you went on, that's why stand-up is, it's the hardest part, I would argue. Not because I do it. The reason I did it is because I think it's the hardest thing to do. Jerry Seinfeld has the quote about stand-up and public speaking, where he's like, public speaking is the #1 fear in America. The second biggest fear is dying, which means that statistically, people would rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy.
Whoa, man. I think you thought that one up while he's on the toilet. It's like, dude, this is great. Huh.
He has a Netflix show about Pop-Tarts. The guy's on the spectrum.
God, I do like seeing cool people that still have some energy left that get fuck you money, or F you, sorry, but F you money.
No, we swear here, baby.
Okay, because it is fun sometimes. Like I have a buddy, my buddy that was laying on the ground laughing on shrooms yesterday. He very well may have FU money, and he goes, "Man, you know what? I'm going back to school. I'm going to be a massage therapist, man." I was like, "Huh, that's interesting." And he goes, "Dude, he just wants to do something cool. He wants, when you do that kind of stuff, you help people, get to touch a lot of people." That's for just man. That's just for some type of person.
The thought
man.
experiment of if you had $100 million,
You could destroy yourself, man.
Your time to not be depressed and sit. You can't have stripper parasailing every night.
I got it. I was gonna buy my own airplane and teach myself how to fly.
Really? Is that a
no? I see that happen sometimes. There's a lot of people that get rich and then they buy their own airplanes, man, and then usually they crash.
If anyone thinks I have a cool life, there was a day where I worked at a dispensary. I hated it more than anything, and I had that moment where I was like, "What if I didn't have to do anything? What do I like? What do I like to do?" And I came up with two things. I like teaching people things that I've already learned and they want to learn, and I love making people laugh. I was like, I'm gonna do both those. And I quit.
Because what do both those do?
I didn't have a job, and I just I don't know. I just ate. That's how I did it.
What do both those things do? They give you value. They make you valuable. You know what I mean? So you're helping other people. You're being valuable to other people. And that's what people need, man. You need to feel valuable. When you're some dude that has $20 million in the bank because you did great and you left a bunch of Bitcoin in your wallet, or your stocks went crazy or you bought real estate. Man, just because you got a whole bunch of money in your pocket doesn't mean you're going to feel valuable. And so, doing something. You only got one life, man. Being rich should allow you, or being, what do they call it, financially free, should allow you to live the life you love.
I went to that business course thing like 2 months ago, and one of the themes of the show or the whole thing was like happiness, and he referred to it as the golden jail cell. He's like, you're gonna build yourself a big golden jail cell, and you don't get to leave. You stack up all your money, and you don't do anything. You never get to go anywhere.
I thought you said happy. I have this guy that's super negative. I've known him my whole life, and he's mentored me in a business and stuff, but he's very New York negative, man. And he's a guy that would just look at me and go, yes, happiness? Yeah, happiness, Scotty? It's a golden jail cell, huh? Huh? You take that. You sleep on that tonight. And, yeah. Yeah, right.
The problem with this sort of philosophical is that neither side is wrong. Right? Like he's correct. Like, totally. It's all bullshit and yada. But wouldn't you rather just like kind of be happy and go with it?
Right. Hey, can I show you the best thing I ever seen at the it's one of them seminars, man. Not the best thing. It's cool though, man. Ready? So what do you see now? What do you see?
I see a hand.
What part of my hand?
A what?
What part of my hand?
The palm.
Nah. Again, seriously.
The palm of the hand?
I'm looking at the back of my hand, as clear as day. So, seriously, what are you looking at? I don't get it.
I see.
Oh, our perspectives are different, man. Yeah. Man, you look at the same thing, man. Just different sides of it. And because you have a different perspective than the other person, totally different, man. And both of you are sure you're right. Because according to your perspective, your worldview, and everything you know, you're right. It's a trip, man,
One of the things that's kind of both blows my mind and kind of upsets me, my immature side upsets me, is that all cliche is real. All the BS things.
No, it's not.
Like things like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. That's so cliche, but it's so true. Like all these like little like things like that. Like people really like bear down the knowledge of life into these little cookies that we can all hand each other really easily. But then we just say it's like, oh, that's cheesy and cliche and like, but it's really true, Oh,
Zen is the way. Perspective is everything. Cannabis vibe. I used to have a sticker on my car that said, attitude is everything. And man, it is so true. Dude, I was in a bad mood a couple weeks ago. My attitude was terrible, man. I was completely just had a terrible attitude, terrible perspective on life. And dude, you know what did change things, Grambo? Dude, I was I came in and I totally was a bitch to Grambo. And man, we had done a whole bunch of, I apologize a bunch, but we did a whole bunch of filming that morning. And when I have to talk a bunch, I try not to be really high. Unless I like the short form stuff, because I'm trying to come to the point. I don't want to be all swirly and stuff. And so I did not eat, and then I did not smoke weed. And man, I tell you what, it really is an attitude adjustment, man. It really, I mean, I'd say that's medicinal. No, somebody would have told me to take a Valium.
right.
No, right? You know what I mean? But I had it a couple of days ago, man. I had the bank. I had a call and something at the bamboo nursery. We were buying a piece of equipment. So I had to wire somebody some money for a piece of equipment, and the bank denied it. So my buddy was sitting in Louisiana at the giant trailer, ready to get a giant excavator. And he was like, bank says you got to call him in the morning. And I go and I call, and I got on the phone tree, and for like 45 minutes, it kept hanging up on me, to the point where I just had to get in the car and go to the bank, And I was fuming, man. I was so bummed out, man. And then I just, my brother Trip drove, so it gave me the luxury of just chiefing on one of those really good live rosin pens. And man, I just took some deep breaths, and when I went in there, everybody was a human being and helping me out, and it was really cool, But man, that was an attitude. It's really good attitude adjustment, man. Smoking weed is good for a lot of people, man.
Yeah, I also recommend edibles for me. Like, I really get the most clear thinking. I literally will tell my therapist, he thinks it's hilarious. I go, edibles really told me some stuff yesterday, and I'll dump all this stuff like it's in the third person. It's not that I was high and thinking this. I almost look. It's like the muse. It's like I didn't have
really
these thoughts. The universe just beams good thoughts into me.
Man, I wonder if sometimes it just I don't know, it helps me with my ego a little bit. You know what I mean? A lot. Well, where I just, I just kind of get my perspective in things. And I don't mean ego in the classic sense, but yeah, man, it helps me just think outside myself a little bit or get a different perspective on things. A lot of times I just think about how amazing life is that day, how lucky I am. When we sit outside on the porch or whatever it is, deck, and you look around and you go, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen, man. If everything ended tomorrow, it would be all right, man, because the day was pretty damn cool, man.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't get that luxury of that, but it's a luxury you can have, dude. This is why I've been very vocal. When I started doing this I cried. I told you I cried on this very stream 4 weeks ago after I came back from my mom's thing, a few weeks ago. It's her 5-year death anniversary, and I get very real because, dude, it's I was one. If you guys are struggling and you guys are having a bad time, that was me, man. I was divorced. My whole family died. I was broke and lost and sad. And I made a decision one night. I made the decision that all right, I could literally do something stupid. I would never end it. I would just go on a bender and fall off the universe eventually, that
right
style. And
get to where I saved you, Grambo. Come on.
No, well, the reason I started crying on that stream is because it went from a man named David Hannon, a man named PJ Johnson, and a man named Scotty Real in that succession each gave me a chance. You guys just gave me a chance. PJ took me on the road for the first time. David Hannon bought me my first computer. You showed me to the world literally, and the world was like, "Hey, we like this guy. Stick around." I was like, "Oh, they like me. They really like me."
It was awesome. Google that if you've never seen that.
Google that. Don't worry
about it. Nah, you know what it is, man. A, you did it. You did it, and then B, I was that guy that I was just goofing on that will tell me to happiness is a golden prison. That guy, he was a huge mentor to me back in the day. He's this real estate developer. He's a New York real estate developer down in Florida, okay? And he's totally straight, man, totally on the level, but he had to deal with all this bullshit, man, and it hardened him, man. It hardens you. So,
lawyers, cops, anyone, doctors, anyone that has to deal with the shit.
Yeah, but I started by installing real estate signs for him on the weekends, open house over there and stuff like that. I'd be the guy that would stick them out, go put the open house signs and take them out Sunday. And from there, I said, hey, man, dude, I got a pretty funny story, man, all right? It's how I invested in real estate. I owned some real estate in Key Largo, Florida. At one point in time, I owned a few places when they would, it was cool as hell. So I'm at this place called the Tiki Bar, okay? And I'm drinking, and there's this guy getting carried out of there. I think he was like sneaking booze in or something like that. But he's getting carried out of the bar, and he goes, there's a hotel associated with it. So I think he was staying at the hotel, and he's getting carried out. He goes, F you, man. I'll never stay here again. You can buy trailers for $5,000 here. I'll just buy one of them, and y'all never stay here again. And I'm like, woo. Trailers for $5,000, huh? And so I took a real estate tip from a guy that was getting carried out of a bar. But no, on the way home, I called a realtor. I was like, hey, this drunk guy getting carried out of the bar says you can buy trailers here for $5,000. But she goes, nah, hell no, not $5,000. She goes like $195,000. I was like, are you insane? And she goes, yeah, like an oceanfront or a bayfront trailer, and you own the land for $195,000. And I was like, $195,000 for a trailer? That's ridiculous, man. And I hung up, and then I was driving for a little bit, and then I go, man, if you get like a hunk of the beach for $195,000, that might not be so dumb. And I called back like a few hours later, and she goes, no, that one's sold. The cheapest one is $205,000 now. And remember, there was a real estate just boom back in the day, boom. And so they were so cheap, dude. We had like all this like beachfront and bayfront trailers that eventually somebody was going to buy from us and knock down. And since they were trailers, man, dude, I wasn't there. I didn't even go down there, but my brother Trip managed them all. And dude, he would master these 4-light flips in there where it's they're little tiny trailers with little tiny bedrooms. So 4 lights in one trailer, 4 lights on one little mini bedroom, 4 lights in the other mini bedroom. It's a flip, so it doesn't take too much power. And then maybe 1,000 is really supposed to be 2,000 watts in the bathroom, as your veg. But man, it was so cool. Theoretically.
Is Flipbox like the #1 black market indicator? If you use a Flipbox, you were sure you were flipping packs, not just the box.
Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about is it was just this thing that it's just timers, but as soon as one went off at 12:12, so when one went off, the other went on. So you don't
for 12 months, 6 ballast. The ballast would run 24 hours a day, and then the box just flipped from room A to room B.
Yeah, but it was cool, man. And then I held on to them for a few years, and then when the real estate boom was going, I go back there, and most of them have these nice houses on them now. It was cool. Yeah, it was one of them serendipity things. Man, that's what I'm saying. Life's been good, man. There's been some things where, could you imagine if I didn't listen to that guy getting carried out of a bar? You know what I mean? The weirdest chance stuff. Is that not weird?
one of the answers that a lot of people don't love about my story is like, you know what really inspired me? I watched the movie Yes Man on edibles one night, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna start saying yes to shit, and it like just like it happened in the movie. I started meeting
Be careful.
people and girls. Moved to Denver, had a kid, living the life. Everything's going great. It's just like,
Be
God,
careful. I found myself at a thrift shop with 3 women today because I was like, yeah, sure, I'll drive. I'll take you to lunch. Nah, it's all good, you know? Yeah.
No regrets, right?
Dude, I bought this cheesy sign that was like hot tub rules. Like I saw it at the thrift store. It was cute. I have a hot tub and it's like no clothes in the hot tub or whatever. You know, it was goofy like that. And I walk up and give it to the woman, and it is the oldest, churchiest woman that I've ever seen, man. And she looks down at it and she reads every perverted rule. Oh yeah, it was good. It's good. It's good.
I had a show. One of my last comedy shows I did was
Cortez here, man.
outdoor
Sup,
show.
brother? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Cortez. And so I have a bit. So it's like the noonday sun. There's a bunch of old ladies, and my act. I got 5 minutes about eating pussy. It's just,
No,
it is what it
come
is.
on.
And
No.
I get to that point, and I literally like go like I tell the first joke. It's like my friend does not go down on his girlfriend. Can you believe
I need
that?
more weed.
If you don't eat a
This is why I didn't let you do material on the DGC Cup, man. This is why, man. This happens every time, man.
I was just censor. So then the joke is, if you don't eat a woman's pussy, you're an asshole. And if you don't eat a woman's asshole, you're a pussy. And that's just a joke. Don't eat the brown eye. That's how you get.
All right, man. All right. Wow. The second,
No, I eat pussy dog.
it goes lowbrow the second hour, huh, man?
Yeah, and I don't mean from behind. I mean like a thirsty Rottweiler drinking from a pothole.
I'm so glad. I've never been more glad that I did not that I put the brakes on your DGC Cup 5 minutes.
I want to die eating pussy underwater. Choked out.
What are you doing?
Will to come is stronger than my will to live.
Class it up, Grambo. Class it up.
Those jokes get me laid sometimes, guys.
There's no way, dude. There's no way any of those jokes get you laid, man. All right.
The reason I brought up that story is my gray-haired little old lady. After the second joke, I was like, I should stop these jokes.
I'm smoking more
and
weed.
She goes, keep going.
Hey.
So this little old lady loved the eating pussy jokes.
Dude, you cannot judge people by what they look like. I seen this dude that was like a real like douchebag today, man, and he had a mohawk. And I was like, this guy seems like he should be kind of cool. He has a mohawk, you know. He's 40-something-year-old guy with a mohawk, and he was just completely not what I expected, you know. And dude, you can't. High C, if people don't know, has tattoos all over his face. And he's brilliant, man. He's fucking really smart. Even look at Grambo. Grambo is smart. A guy that looks like that is smart. Don't judge people for what they look like, man.
I know. Just because I'm freaking gorgeous doesn't mean I'm a hairhead. I'm more than just tits, fellas. Just for your information. No,
I seen a guy yesterday, and he was so handsome. I was like, I'll bet you that's a pain in the ass for that guy. Just like a really good looking girl. It's a hassle, man. It opens up doors, but it's a hassle.
That's what just bums me out. If I had hair, I could be like a model, but I'm bald, so I'm just hot. Bummer.
Wow. Turns out there's like a critical mass of like number of dabs until you can't stand up anymore.
This show has come crashing to a halt because of dabs more than once. I think every other show.
Wow.
Literally, me and Cortez episode, I was just like half of the show I was doing this. I was like, you gotta grow out of
this is fun, man. I guess I'm imagining this is just hanging out, man. Or at least I'm doing this anyway because I like hanging out with you, Grambo. And that's why I do the Dude Grow show, honestly. is because when dude moved away, dude lived in Denver. He used to live in Fort Collins, which is my hometown. And then he lives in, yeah, let me clear the deck.
There we go.
No mas. But he moved to Denver. We didn't really hang out that much, man. He started doing the podcast. I joined in episode 2, and it was a great way for us to hang out, man. And still, he's like one of my best friends. He's one of the coolest friends that I've ever had. Always doing cool stuff. So it's really nice. The podcast for me, or the podcast, whatever, the Dude Grow Show, is a cool way to still keep a really tight friendship with Dude. And he's one of the only people that he's worked with me for 2 years. I worked with him for 10 years, man. And I don't think we've ever had a fight, man, because he won't do it. It's like he's made out of rubber, man. You know, he doesn't engage. He's so fucking smart, man. He's emotionally brilliant. The dude is, man.
He is. That's one thing. Whenever people ask me, like at the Emerald Cup, I ran into a lot of DGC, and shout out to you guys. Thank you. I will put this out there. Do never not bother me. Like if it's like, I don't want to bother Grambo. No. I'm a whore for the attention. Please come bother me. I want to meet everyone that wants to meet me. And whenever people ask me, what are the guys really like? The one thing I can say 100% honestly is everyone is who they are. Exactly. Like Scott is exactly who you think he is. Dude is exactly who you think he is. Banner's a little bit more hippie on the show. Banner's very analytical.
No, hang on. It is. Banner does the same thing. Banner puts a huge smile on his face. Well, that's the same thing that I do. We don't all live with smiles on our faces.
Walking in Banner, he's got a oney in his mouth and a computer, and he's thinking. Like that's Banner's like existence. And he goes, Grambo, what are you smoking? That how we asked chat, what are you smoking? Banner's actually that guy. He asks, like, what are you smoking, Grambo? And if I'm not smoking something good enough, always throw me a nug of something better.
Man, I tell you, doing the show and looking around at all the other content creators, it really does teach you, like, you're not going to be for everyone. It's to think that you're going to appeal to everyone. I think that's what's the matter with TV. They try to appeal to everybody. A product for everyone is a product for no one. That's like, yeah, if you got to have some kind of a target market, but no idea what I was talking about, Grambo.
I believe that's one of my stories I recall when you and Banner met. I believe he asked you something like, what are you into? And you're like, marketing funnels.
Funnels, man. Funnels. That's right.
Funnels.
I totally lost the story, Grambo. I'm sorry, brother. I blew it.
Dad do, man. It's like fucking Eternal. I'm gonna create a dab company called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Remember that movie?
I ain't seen that one. Have you seen Easy Rider?
Oh, of course.
Have you?
Yeah. How's did you know they made a sequel to that like 5 years ago? A guy bought the rights. A guy like you bought the rights.
The Easy Rider? The Easy. I would do that
too. And it's like some guy bought it and then gave it to some asshole like me who's like, oh, I can make a movie. I can't make Easy Rider. And it's so bad. It's so bad.
Hey, Bart, man, I did not call anybody hippy dippy, did I? And holy crap.
Well, I did.
I cannot believe that you remember that. Do you know what that's about?
That's Carlin.
No, man. I accidentally said that too. I was goofing around with Loving in Her Eyes when I had her on. And I was like, I know that a lot of people think, some hippy dippy stuff goes into, some of the, selecting or whatever. And like, I didn't think about it. I was like, sorry, I don't mean that, whatever. But she got bummed out, man. She did not like that. Yeah. I've texted her to come back on the show, and I don't really get any response, man. I think it might be on her pay no mind list. Yeah, that's funny, though, man. That is funny.
See? Bartman, shout out to you, buddy. You get the OG DGC trophy of the night.
No. All right. Yes, you get that's a deep cut. We should make a deep cut trophy,
He wins.
You can't say OG. Yeah, sorry, you can't say OGDGC with Maestro in the chat. All right, man, how dare you?
Well, yes. So,
And who was it?
whatever.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm also losing. This Gary Payton I smoked, dude. It's almost gone. This jar was completely full. I bought three
Nah,
quarters of an ounce of this.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I bought a quarter from Gabe from Jug Dealers. Had it. It's his. Remember we were talking with from the stash guys, and I was like the guy who invented live resin made this. That's like my
I do
flex,
remember that. Oh, that
Signed
is what
bill.
we were talking about, bro. All the personalities, man, and that thinking that somebody's gonna like you. 100% of the audience is gonna like you, or the people that that are out there listening to YouTube cannabis videos, or 100% of them are gonna like me or Banner. You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's some people that totally love Banner's like obsession for the plant, and loving the flavors and being a connoisseur for it. It's just people are in it for all different things, and they identify with all different personalities, man. Just I like from the stash guys. I like Matt. I can THC. I even like Blue Glasses guy, man, because 420
Yeah,
scene.
420 scene.
He's a musician, man. He's like a New York musician. He's got people up there that identify with him. It's cool. I do think it's cool.
Well,
I think
shout
it'll
out to
teach you
Silent
also, man. Yes, sir.
Silent One's going through some stuff, and we're hanging out with them. So shout out to you, Silent One. Mad respect to whatever you're going through. Hope you fucking do it up, baby. Because that's the thing.
Yes.
Do not think as we walk through. Scott and I will say things like, "Man, life is good," right? Scott has fucking real problems in his actual life. Grambo has real problems in his actual life, And like, so we're not like blessed humans that have no problems. So I feel you, man. Like, I remember Scott was having some problems with his dad, and it was an emotional time, and all we all go through different crazy shit. Like, I just came off of the 5-year anniversary of my mom passing. She had horrific cancer. So we're all here for a reason. The reason that this cannabis community exists, if you scratch the surface of a stoner, oh man, I love indicas. Scratch the surface a little bit. It goes, I was in a car accident 20 years ago, and like weed's the only thing that like helps me get through the nausea of like the spins. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just like, oh, I love growing weed. I'm so cool, whatever. But it's not I'm so cool. The real thing is like it's actually like we're all real people with real lives, real problems, physical ailments, mental ailments, all sorts of shit.
Scotty Real's my fake name. I feel like a phony. No, not really a real person, Grambo.
Get out.
Hey, Grambo, how long till it's just like it's so we don't have to be real people? Like, I've seen some AI shit, and I like being a real person, but what I mean is, I don't know if we got enough video out there where I don't know if you're going to believe what you see anymore. I've seen crazy stuff, man. They just make people say anything, and man, it's cool.
So
I'm sorry, I was thinking about my head on Arnold Schwarzenegger's body for a little bit, That's why I said it's cool. But
one of my favorite YouTube channels is a channel called Corridor Digital. And so they're a visual effects channel. And so they just put out this video where they took movies and like deep faked them to like say things that they wanted, like comedically wanted them to say and everything. So like Neo goes to reach for the pill, and then he's like, oh, by the way, like you're gonna meet an old guy, he's gonna ramble about a bunch of bullshit and you're not gonna know what the hell's going on. And then Neo's like, okay, I'll take the pill again. He's like, but then like Trinity's gonna like die and Smith's gonna be all weird, and like it's over explaining the movies. But they take the scenes and like they deep fake their voices, and it sounds exactly like all of the people. Their mouths are moving exactly, all the lighting matches. It's freaking perfect. And so, yeah, as Scott and I like to say, it's over, Johnny. It's over. If you wanted, you could have 100% photo reel and auditorily fidelity reel Scotty reel for probably like $5,000, I think is what the going rate for the top models are. And if you're like a hacker type person, I mean, it's free. I'll shout out to 11 Labs. 11 Labs is what Corridor Digital uses on a lot of their videos. They just updated some new stuff. And
Bro, I had this thing like maybe the second, third, fourth grade called a slide rule. Okay. It
yeah,
was like, then maybe like the fifth grade, they got the calculator, the digital calculator. It was like $80 or something like that, you know? We went from that to like broadcasting worldwide on our telephones, man. I was listening, I think it was some comedian, and he was like, maybe it was a meme. It was talking about how you used to have to go to the telephone and do all this crazy stuff to dial long distance, and sometimes you have to get an operator involved. God forbid you wanted to call overseas. You want to send a letter overseas, maybe it would, 6 weeks, maybe it'd get there. It was such a different world, man, than it is now. It's so
just
crazy. In
talking
one
with
generation.
Maestro and his father were like in the TV and film industry, and him telling me what in his lifetime, he's a young man, in his lifetime, it was like reel to reel tapes. There was no digital editing, no layer stacking, none of this crap that I think is just, when I got in the industry, it just was this, and it's so easy. Oh my God. Look at Jay Maestro. We went to the moon with a slide rule, homie.
Yeah, I was told, I can't remember what it was, but it's like all the computing power that got us to the moon. Like, I can't remember. It's like your car has more computing power than it,
Yeah.
than everything we had.
Points out. Remember how preposterous the Dick Tracy TV watch was?
No, yes. And now it's real.
Fidelity video on your wrist.
Yeah, now it's real.
Now you're the hipster. Here's the hipster if you have it.
Wow, yeah, it is a trip, man. It is.
It's undeniable. We are in the future. It's pretty awesome. I like it so
far.
If we just could figure out if we could figure out social media and we could stop ripping each other's throats out on social media.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is strange how that works, right? People are really nice when you meet them in person. I was eating today and I saw the waiter and I was like, you give them a big smile. You see somebody, people are nice in person,
Yes.
Sometimes, I don't know. You know what it is? Like,
yes.
Somebody, like if I don't check the comments too early in the morning, but if you wake up to something and you're like, what? He said that? You're a great big phony. How you like that one? This is my Peter Griffin. Yeah, but you know what I mean, man? People are moody, or maybe they're in a bad mood or moody, or maybe they're just jerks. All right, man?
The thing that is killing us is not seeing each other in real life, man. The same way you act in cars. Didn't you show me the video of the two dogs that were like going at each other, and then they open the slide door and they're like, and they close the slide door and they're like, ah! That's us. That's us on social media.
It's so funny. Not really, man.
Did we show that on I think we showed it on the show.
Yeah. So. It depends what you got inside, man. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling positive, if you're not starving or stressed out about paying your rent or trying to get a new tire on your car, man, as they say, a tire, because we've all been there where you got one bald tire that you're saving up to get, to get it fixed because you're that effing broke. Dude, it's hard as shit to fucking just throw that aside. That's all like a weight on you, So yeah,
I will openly say you've watched me go through like a bit of a transformation in the last 2 years. There's been some dark time. You're lost. I have a lot of sympathy for people that don't have they have a trouble changing, because I will tell you something. Changing is difficult. It's like a molting bird or a caterpillar in the cocoon. It's not fun. It's hard and lonely, and it's sad, and you want to give up. And the only thing that keeps you going is friends and the smile of people, and kind words.
All right, man. Molting caterpillar cocoon, man. That's awesome.
And shout out to Silent One. He's a perfect example of these sort of, you and I, like, we take it for granted. We're sitting around. You and I could sit in how many times have we sat in the bakery, and if we just hit record, it's like, dude, this would be we do 4 hours of podcasting every single day we hang out, we only record 1 hour of it though. You know, like
Man, like hanging
this
out
is
with
fun.
everybody here. That's why when I was moving my stuff before, it was because it's a much cooler experience for me if I see the chat and I get to see everybody's hanging out. It is about having some kind of, there's a social aspect to what we do. And even hanging out and looking at you right now and having a conversation, even if there wasn't anybody else, man. That's what I'm saying. We went from slide rule, which is funny, to having a video conversation with my buddy, man. It's pretty neat.
Hard.
To playing, ready? Get this one. To playing Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam. Come on, name it.
Is it the Seth Rogen movie?
It's the Cable Guy. Yeah, crushed it.
Hoisted by my own petard.
Excuse me for a second while I drop this mic.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
You can't get all of them.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You'll never. You always have to get like when you were like, "Where are we taking this jam to, homeboy?" I was like, "Compton."
Compton. You know you're from Compton, Michigan, homeboy.
Like first week working together, he was like, "Where are we taking this jam to?" He could have been referencing anything. Compton? Are we taking
Yep. Oh, good stuff, Grambo.
Well,
it's fun hanging, man.
At the end of these things, I will go through and do the whole plugs rundown thing. But really, it's just our plugs, and so I will go ahead.
Hey,
quite quickly.
Do me a favor, Grambo. If you would, tell them about the new channel that we're doing. Let's talk about that, just because personally, it is humbling, man. It is.
I had it loaded up.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
Tomorrow at 8 a.m. DGC Grow Talk. If you see this, the Dude Grow Show has the white or the black background with the green DGC logo. So if you see that white logo, that's officially the new Shorts channel. You can see we got a 1200, 4200, 1400. You guys have found it. YouTube's finally figuring out this is not a clips show. This is not us taking Dude Grow's moments and then clipping them. This is purpose built. Me, Dude, Scott, and High C, all the four of us get together and we build these high quality short forms from scratch. And it's completely different look, feel, attitude. It's just hardcore grow talk from zero to the end. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an idea that High C had. He was like, people don't want to see your home movies, Scott. They don't want. A lot of people don't care about you. They just want to learn how to grow. And man, why? He says, man, you know what you do? A topic about one thing, man. One thing, and cover it really good. Have it take 15 minutes, maybe, something like that. He gets mad if they're longer than 15 minutes. And he goes, you and Dude go over something and just crush it, man. And so, yeah, I like the idea. And because we got our channel yanked before, we decided to diversify our risk and do another separate channel.
Yes, it has multiple benefits. And speaking of that, I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's exactly what I should be thinking of, is also because you got the channel yanked. We had found out that friend of the show, Grow Under the Stairs, he had his Patreon deleted. He had his Patreon deleted. So we're not safe anywhere. So the one place that we for sure want to push you over to, if you're a DGC, is head over to realdgc.com, man. That's the spot. This is where if you want to support Scott, Dude, Banner, or you can really, and that I'll include One-Eyed Cat, Jay Maestro, JR Token. If you want to support any of us, the real place you can do it is over at realdgc.com.
If you're looking to connect with the best cannabis growers,
baby,
you're in the right place.
Look at that.
Welcome to
Oh, really?
DGC. It's our private social media platform exclusively for cannabis growers like you. There's no
pause that. Hang on, Grambo.
Grow without worrying about your account.
Dude, even that one line, I'm like, dude, it probably took 3 times for me to do. I'm like, all right, man. Dude, I'm so bad at doing these are, like the beginning is scripted. And man, I'm terrible at it. I would get kicked off an acting, if I got an acting gig, I'd be kicked off the first day. They'd be like, it was a terrible mistake to hire this guy, man.
Christian Bale would be yelling at you day one.
Oh,
good for you. Hey, man, sorry, I'm bad at this. Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and dude's good at it, man. So I love doing these.
Shout out Stink. He says, "Dudes, the Grow Show was the best. The lives were that was a whole thing. We did it. That was crazy. That was a we went full dog into live streaming, and we went from like this is why we don't go live to like fuck it.
This happens every time we go live, man. This happens every time we go live. Yeah, it's fun.
It ended up being that like there's only so much time in the day, and the lives were a very, I can speak personally, it was very stressful.
It took a lot of time, man. Yeah, and it was stressful. Yeah,
things like the reason you liked that show is because it was hard to do, and it was just like, all right, we can't do the shorts channel and all this other stuff and go boating in the rain.
No. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I think a lot of folks do know, but we do a lot of prep for the show. You know, we do a lot of, pre-show prep and everything, probably 4-5 hours for each show.
Scott so prep all the formats, and I'll go down. I pop through them, get all the links organized, all the tabs, all the things. We all have our shared notes. We all have live note files in front of us, and we're updating them in real time.
Because we're trying to make a good product, we're trying to take the tools that we have and make something to where when it's live, it's it is what it is. If I say, hey, you know what, man, the article that I want to reference, the link is dead, man. Dude, this was such a good article. Hang on one second, Grambo. Press pause and let me find that link. Makes for a better show, and I love it, man. That's why I love the freedom for that,
Yeah, and that's why I figured I'd show the. So yeah, this is the new look of the new channel. You'll see it's got just a different look, different feel. I love it. Oh, and Scott, we just I was waiting for it. We got 557. I was gonna message you when we got
555 and Grambo
with a 555.
We were talking about how I was all pissed off and freaked out that one day, right? One of these has me right afterwards, man, seconds afterwards, where we do it live. We'll do it live moment. See if you can tell, man. It'll be the secret. Let's see how good of an actor I am.
Well, one of the things that was weird was that when you and I had that was episode 13 of us filming that. And then the next day, my jiu-jitsu locker, the only locker open, was 13. And then a few days later, I got in a car accident on the 13th.
I think it was the third. Yeah, man, that's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. Castanog says Scotty has either COVID or vodka in that cup. That's funny. I don't know what it means, but it is funny.
Cognac did cognac autocorrect to COVID?
Just sweet tea, my friend. It is just sweet tea. Man, being out here from the South, man. I asked for sweet tea today, and they gave me raspberry tea out of the tap.
Man, these kids today, they don't
out of the fountain, man. Out of the fountain. That's not sweet tea, son.
Well, we did it, Scott. We came up on 90 minutes. It goes fast. It was
fun hanging out, man. It was nice.
Yeah, we got real with y'all. You got to see what it's like. This is me and Scott hanging out in the bakery, but probably more dabs. I think Kenny.
I don't think so. I'm as high as I've ever been in my life, Grambo. I've had like mega dabs, man.
When we mega dabs,
I will tell you something. Oh, come on. You got to get AI to make me a Mega Dabs t-shirt. Holy crap. I was at the thrift store today with my buddy, and they had an Aaliyah t-shirt and then a Hannah Montana t-shirt. Man, I was going to buy them for the show,
Buy them. I wish I had it. I found you were like, no, it's the Thor shirt or the Zeus shirt. It's no, I have the Zeus shirt here. I will be wearing.
I was going to ask what happened. Why did we buy the Zeus shirt again? Give me the setup, man.
You sent me a text one night, and you were like, "Would you wear this on the show?" And I said, "Of course." And then it was just the Amazon fairy delivered it the next day.
No, there had to be some weird ass reason, man. There had to be some weird ass reason.
I'm gonna grab it.
it was pretty funny to be able to buy the weird Amazon, not Amazon shirts. Facebook will market things like this to me. Yeah, no, that maybe that was just marketed to me, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that for Grambo. That's a weird thing for me to be like scrolling in bed on Amazon and being like, dude, I'm gonna buy that for Grambo, man. You got to admit, I don't see why I would have that thought.
The text on it says King God of the Sky and Thunder. King God.
Is that what I do remember.
King.
I do, because remember that one the one day that you asked to be called Zeus, King God, and we were like, no, that's too much.
You know, no big deal, but the IRS, the IRS acknowledges King God, Zeus, Grambo.
That is a church, right? The Church of Cannabis, man. So they don't have to pay taxes because they're a church. Is that how that works?
I don't know. I don't pry into their business, but
definitely
sure
not.
That was the impetus behind the whole thing.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Good stuff, man. It was good hanging. It was good seeing everybody in the chat, man. Cortez, Sicko, Mailman is in there. It's actually not a mailman. Don't tell me, give it under your hat. Hell yeah, man. I see Maestro. Come on, give some shout outs over there, man. Come on. Captain Obvious.
So my man L420 DGC, this man showed up with a Grambo Grows shirt at the DGC Cup. I couldn't believe. I was like, holy shit. So Lloyd, he is my man forever. So epic shout out. Curly Leaf, you might be the most active guy in the comments out there. Maestro, obviously.
Oh,
Jimmy,
yeah.
come on. Grambo for president. Mailman, the best question asker in the
Holy
DGC.
crap.
This man asks great questions. Test nugs, keep testing
How
nugs.
fucked up would you be as president, man? I would stay in Costa Rica, man.
I think I
It would. You'd be worse than President Camacho, man.
We're doing it again. Stay lifted.
Yes, sir.
Great hang.
It was fun hanging out with you, brother. It was.
I will
see you tomorrow. See you at work, man.
See you at work, man.
Hey, we got some fun shows. We're gonna record a couple fun shows tomorrow. I was pretty psyched, man. I was.
And I put out the message. Get ready for Dr. Bruce Bugby. When we're in LA, we might be dropping Bugby. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we should. I thought he'd be have a little bit more of a sense of humor, man. He didn't really have much of a sense of humor.
Most professorally guest we've ever had.
I was trying to break the ice, man, but he was pretty straight.
That would make it was high, and then fucking. Because we're told, oh yeah, Bugby smokes, man. Like, let's hang out and everything.
No, he doesn't.
Scott was cracking jokes, and Bugby was just like, okay, you know, like in PPFD.
Yeah, Maestro said it. I'm not saying it, man. All right, man. Good hanging, brother. Good hanging, everybody.
All right. Thank you all for everything, and you know how we end this. We play the cannabis vibe. So thank y'all. Join if you want to be Gramborg. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and DGC Grow Talk YouTube channel.
All right. Take her easy, all y'all.
Later.
We're dropping knowledge on Grambo grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. Grambo grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step. You
Supposed to see pictures of the goddamn dog.